How's it going out there? Welcome from H2TechVideos. Today I'm going to be going over the Google Chromebook for beginners, and I just want to take you through a step-by-step walkthrough of the operating system. Once again, this is a brand new operating system. This is Chrome OS. This is not Windows 7, Windows 8, XP, Vista. It's none of that. It's not Lion. It's not Mac. It's a totally different operating system, and therefore it operates different than a PC or a Mac. So let's jump in, kind of give you a basic walkthrough, especially if you just purchased one. You're kind of like, oh my gosh, where is everything? How do I do all this stuff? First thing I want to go over is the keyboard itself, because that is also different. You will notice that the keyboard has no function keys, no F1 through F12, so that is different, okay? As well as this whole top row is basically different. So the first thing you have here is you have a back and a forward key, and those are for when you're on the internet and you want to go back a website or you want to go forward. Maybe you've already gone back, you want to jump forward again. So those are for the internet. You also have the refresh. You have a little circle with a little arrow on the end. That's your refresh key. Now here you actually have what's called your maximize key. Now the technical name may be different, but what it means to maximize is when you make whatever you're looking at cover the whole screen. So for example, if I press that button, it will make the window cover the whole screen. If I press it again, it will shrink back down. So that in a nutshell is what that does. And then you have next to it, you have a button. This is basically like a switch window button. So if you're on the internet, let's say right now I'm using Chrome Internet, and I'm looking at my Gmail, and I want to switch to my files. I already have the files window open in the background here, so I just press that button right here, and it switches. It'll switch to, this is my file, kind of like my file manager. So that's all that does. It just lets you switch between windows. Kind of cool. Next, we do have our brightness down and brightness up. We have our mute, volume down, volume up, and your power button. Okay, so that's kind of first things first, because obviously using the keyboard is important, and you want to make sure that you can control that properly. Okay, so next thing is I want to go over what you see on the bottom here. Okay, now these are, first of all, you don't have a start button because once again it's not Windows. You have Google Chrome, and when you click that first button right there, it launches you right onto the internet. It launches the Chrome browser, so you use that to surf the web. As you'll notice up here, you only have one box, which is this is the address box slash search box, so you can actually type in the actual website, www.facebook.com, or you could just type in Facebook and then it would search it and then it would pull up the proper website for you. So hopefully you've already used Chrome and you kind of have an idea of how their web browser works, because that's really what that is. This just launches their web browser. Now down here is where you'll see other apps. And right now I have Gmail, I have Google Search, Google Drive, YouTube, and you can add more actually. If you click on the last option, is going to be, they're like little mini squares. Let me kind of zoom in on that so you can see that. These are your apps right down here, and when you click there, it will launch a list of all the current apps that are installed on the computer, and you have a large list of more apps you can download, and I'll go over that in a little while. So if you actually click with two fingers on this, let's see, maybe not. Oh, okay, well, it doesn't do that. But basically, when you want to launch the different apps that you have on the computer, you go apps. Okay, so again, these are your apps, and to move between your apps, basically you just use two fingers and you just swipe left or right on the trackpad. So just zoom all the way down here, just like that, to left, to right, and that will make your apps kind of go between like that. There's going to be a couple that will be pre-installed. Your Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, your Chrome Web Store, Chrome, YouTube, Gmail, Google Search. A lot of those will already be on there, and then you can look for your own apps as well, and I'm going to show you how to do that again in a second. So you click one, it will launch it. So like if you wanted to start typing a document, you would just click on Google Docs, which is right here, and now you'd be launching Google Docs. Once again, it is web-based, so you're actually still in Chrome. This is Chrome right here at the top, and it just opens up as a new tab. Now let me tell you what the benefit of this is. You start typing your document, it's automatically saving it for you, so you don't necessarily have to hit save. So it's backing it up in your online drive, which you can access from any computer just by logging into your Gmail. So kind of cool. Just a little basic there. So apps are down here, and if we keep going to the right, on this side we actually have, you have this. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. First thing you have is, it's a little like message icon right here, and this will let you know, for example, like I plugged in a hard drive and I unplugged it too soon. You do have to click a button to like eject it, so you don't mess up your device. So this is just a little message telling me like, hey, make sure you don't do that again. I hit clear and it goes away. It only pops up when it has something to say. Now if you click anywhere down here at the bottom, on the time, on the Wi-Fi symbol, the battery indicator, your little logo picture, whatever, it will bring up your you have a little settings menu. This is kind of a shortcut settings, and we have right now my name, email address, which is the account that's logged in, and then you have the internet. So right now I'm connected to my Wi-Fi network. It's morphin time, and if I click on this arrow, I can actually change. I can search for other Wi-Fi networks, and I can switch networks. Okay, so that's kind of where you would go to jump between networks. So if you needed to go offline, you would click right down here, and that would disconnect you from the internet. Wi-Fi is now turned off. So I'm going to turn it back on for now, and then it will automatically connect. Okay. And you also have a button here in the corner, which is your network info. So if you need to see like your IP address, that kind of stuff, it will pull up just like that. Now, next we do have our Bluetooth able, disable. So if you want to connect Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth speaker, etc., that's how you would do it, just by simply clicking there and enabling Bluetooth, and then you would click add device, and that would allow you to add Bluetooth device. Volume is right here. We do have the volume keys, so you can control it from the keyboard, or you can do it from here, turn it up and down. Your option there. Really cool. You have your battery indicator, a more in-depth one right here, so you can see 41%. You have 2 hours and 36 minutes left. This will fluctuate kind of depending on what is running. On a really good day, I want to say I got over 10 hours of battery life on it. And the standby time was really good, so even when it's turned off or you have the lid closed, it's not draining too much battery, so that's good. Now here you also have your extensive settings menu. When we click here, it takes you into a lot more options in terms of your settings. Get that straight. So shows you your Wi-Fi networks. You can change your wallpaper. So like this background image right here, we can change to something else. I'm just using the stock one right now. If you want to change your touchpad speed, if you want it to be faster, you would do that from here. Now one thing I did, if you click on touchpad settings, I switched it to the Australian scrolling, not the traditional scrolling, because I actually like it when you go up. I think it's when you swipe up you go down, and when you swipe down you go up. I kind of like that a little bit better. Just my personal preference, so I switched that, but you can set that however you like. And then here under search, you can actually change your search engine. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but in the event that you wanted to, you can switch to Bing, Yahoo, AVG, and you can all do that from there. And then this just shows all the users you have. You can have multiple users that are signed in to the computer. In fact, if I go manage other users, I actually have oh, Oh, I have multiple accounts synced, but this isn't the administrator account, so you really can't see all that information. Also, to the left here, you have extensions. This will show you all the different apps you currently have installed on the computer and on your account. You also have your web history, which you can just hit clear browsing history if you wanted to get rid of any history that you didn't want people to see. And we'll just close that tab like such. Now, you can access that again from down here. Click on the time and click on the settings, or you can just go here. There's an option in the corner. There's these 3 bars. When you click there, this is where you would open a new tab, set bookmarks, change the page size, again download history, as well as your settings, which are going to be right here, and that would take you right back to where we just were. And you also have your darn, I didn't want to report something. You have more tools where you have access to your task manager, clearing your browser data, developer tools, all that good stuff. Now let's go over some more things here. So when you look in the upper right corner, it looks kind of similar to Windows. You do have the X. If you wanted to close out Chrome, you just click on the X in the corner. Now what you will see here is you just have a square. You don't have the little minus sign and the square. The minus sign on a PC is minimized when you don't necessarily want to close the program, but you don't want to see it. Now what you're going to do to access all those options, you just put your mouse on the square. There's a little square. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so it's clear. So put the mouse on there, and now you have 3 options. The first being you can just have that window come to the left of the screen. You have minimize, which will basically keep all the tabs open, but it's gonna just kind of put it down at the bottom here so that you can't see it. Or you can have it jump to the right and it'll move the whole window to the right of the screen. However you want to do it, I'm going to minimize it for now. And then we can just see our desktop screen right here. Now one thing you'll notice, there are no apps, no apps or files or programs on the desktop. The desktop is totally clear. You cannot save anything to it. So this never gets cluttered. It's nice seeing a picture. I kind of wish you could do a little more with it. Maybe put some like widgets right there. Maybe that's something they'll add in the future. I think it's just a little plain that you just don't see much on the home screen. So that's just kind of my personal preference. But anyway, it's not about me. Now if we go back to apps here, you'll see you have a couple of other very useful options. Down here at the bottom we have files. Okay, this is how you'll actually be able to take a look at one, anything you've downloaded off the internet. You have a downloads folder. As you can see, I've downloaded nothing. And then you have your Google Drive. Okay, Google Drive is again your online storage. And when you purchase the computer, the Chromebook, there's an offer that you actually get 100 gigabytes of free Google Drive storage for 2 years. I think right now I only have like 5 or 10 gigs, but you can bump it up to 100 gigs. So very awesome offer. And this computer only has 16 gigs of built-in memory, so 100 gigs definitely would help in that regard. Okay, now I want to show you this too. If you were to plug in a flash drive or an external hard drive, let me plug that in the back here. Again, we're in the files section. The hard drive would actually show up as an option right here. Okay, you can think of this kind of like the My Computer screen of a PC. And so, see my free agent showed up. Click there, and then we'll see all the files that are on my hard drive. So that's a big plus. Whether it's an external hard drive or a flash drive, you just plug it right into the USB port, and you'll go down to apps, and you will go to files, and it will take you right here where you can look at all those files. I have some videos on here, and if I was to, let's see, let me go to TJ's game footage. I can click a video, and it'll just start playing. Don't we want to watch that? Same thing if you had music on a flash drive, or you were to plug in a micro SD card or SD card. You could actually look at those pictures. You could listen to music that you have stored. Whatever. You do have that option. Now, you can also, if you look to the upper right here, you have a search box. You can search through your files. You have an option to change the view. So instead of it just being a list going up and down, we could change it to like the icons. And you can look at them like that, which is a lot bigger. And then, let's see, we have a settings wheel as well, so we can make some more changes. Basically, you would just use that to add a new folder, where you can press Control E and you will also add a new folder. So one thing you'll notice is that the amount of options is definitely scaled back from what you'd see on a PC. Like on a PC, you could change the view and you can see these bigger, smaller, and you can have a preview screen, all that stuff. A lot of that Chrome OS has done away with and has just built a super simple operating system, which is nothing wrong with it, because again, it's simplicity is good at times. At other times, I believe that you would begin to miss some of the older features that are associated with PC that we've all come to know over the years. You know. Anyway, no big deal. So we're going to close this out. That's how you look at your files. We'll go back to apps. Now, one of the most important apps you're going to be using, I believe I'm be using a lot, is Getting Started. And this is a program here that will, not really a program, again, it's an app. It's more of just a getting started tool that will allow you to have a basic welcome little video that shows you. In fact, let's click on it so I can show you what it looks like. It's welcome, kind of gives you some basic information about the Chromebook. And then if we click next, you can see the software that's built in, and it compares it to what you would see on a Mac and a PC. So, for example, for the task of creating documents, spreadsheets, and presentations on the Chromebook, let's zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. Hope that's better for you guys. So, on the Chromebook, in terms of creating documents, spreadsheets, PowerPoints, you have docs, sheets, and slides. Traditionally, on a PC or Mac, you'd find Microsoft Office or you'd find iWork. For the task of chatting or making phone calls, you have Google Hangout and Google Talk. On a traditional computer, you'd have Skype, FaceTime. In terms of organization and play of music, you have Google Play, which is available in select countries. On a PC, you have Windows Media Player. On a Mac, you have iTunes. And in terms of accessing software and files on other computers, you have Chrome Remote Desktop. Now, what's cool about that is if you have a PC at home or a Mac and you use Chrome, the Chrome Internet browser, as long as you are logged in with the same email address, okay, for example, I'm logged into H2TechVideos right now. If on my computer, I'm also logged in H2TechVideos in Google Chrome. Any tab that I have open, I can actually open them from my Chromebook, and vice versa. If you have tabs open on here, you can go to your PC or your Mac, you know, and you should already be signed in if it's your own computer, and you can look at those tabs. Let me show you how to do that real quick. We go down the bottom corner here, and we'll launch Google Chrome. And on the new tab screen, you come down the bottom here where it says Other Devices, and click on that. Now, actually, I think I don't have any other devices open. That's why you can't see anything. But if you click here, you would actually see, like, my cell phone. You can see tabs I have open there, as well as I have a Mac and a PC. So I have some tabs open on the Mac, some over on the PC. You click all those tabs, and you can reopen those right from here, which makes it, again, really convenient. So if you're working from one computer, you can just jump right to this one and keep working. What's also cool too is you have your recently closed option right here too. So if you've closed out maybe a website you're working on, or you had to restart the computer, you could go here and actually look at the recent tabs you closed and reopen them, obviously if they were still important and you weren't ready to close them. The third option down here you have is your web store, and that would be used for searching for apps. Again, it's an app-based computer, not software. Excuse me, or yeah, not software-based anymore. So for everything, you're going to go to the Chrome Web Store and you're going to look for it on here. So you can search between popular, business tools, education, entertainment. I actually found a really good homework app that I use now that actually syncs on my phone. It syncs on Internet Explorer and Chrome. This is actually it. It's called My Homework. And you can basically sync it up so wherever you are, you'll actually be able to see, you know, what homework assignments are due for which class. It's very extensive. And again, if you did have a Chromebook, this is a great app to download because this is a really good device for students. So if you wanted something simple to just use in the classroom to take notes, you know, remember your homework assignments, this is a really good program that would help too. It's called My Homework. So if I wanted to download this app, I just click Add to Chrome, and that's it. It's going to download it, and now that program is now going to be added to my apps. Just like that. Real simple. And you can look through. There are tons and tons and tons of apps that are built in. I was pleasantly surprised at the amount of apps that are already available for Chrome. So you have a big selection, and a lot of the apps are free. So you're saving a lot of money just by having this computer, because although you can't use your own software, you're not going to have to purchase a lot because there's so much that's already been developed and created for it. Now, if we keep moving here, we also have some touch gestures that the touchpad will do. For example, there's just one click. There is a two-finger press, which is mimicking a right click. That brings up a menu like that. So 2 fingers, press. The next option is 2 fingers dragging down. So up and down, basically you would use to scroll. So just scroll down, scroll up, and that will let you scroll. And then here we have a drag where you click with one finger and with the other finger you drag it like such. So that's cool. Just some basic touchpad gestures. And let's see, we're almost through. Another really important section is going to be working offline. Now these are some apps that they recommend you can download. So for example, if you didn't have an internet connection, you would actually be able to run Gmail, and you'd actually be able to read and respond to some emails even though you're not connected with the internet. Same thing if you want to type a Google document, if you wanted to make modifications to your calendar, what it will do is make those changes, and then when you're connected with the internet again, it will go ahead and sync that with your other devices. So all you would do, for example, if you wanted offline Gmail, you would click offline Gmail, and it would take you right to the Chrome store, to the program, and you would click Add to Chrome, and then click Add again, and now there we go. We have our Gmail offline. Now, one thing to understand about the Chromebook is that this is a computer that was originally meant to run strictly from the internet. That's why the storage of the computer is so low, only 16 gigs. Or if you have the Acer, you have 320 gigs. But basically, this isn't meant to store a lot on the computer itself. It's meant to have everything run through the internet. Now, what they've learned is that, guess what? People don't have an internet connection 24/7. Sometimes you will be without the internet, and that's why they have created these offline apps. You can still work productively even though you don't have an internet connection. Now, if we were to click Offline Collection, which is right underneath these apps, it'll take you to a whole list of other apps you can download that will also work offline. One being Angry Birds. You can have fun with that without the internet. And so you'd have a list of things you could do. Wow, LA Times. Do some reading. You'd have a list of things that you could do even if you weren't connected with the internet. So definitely recommend you guys go through and just take a look at all the offline tools, because again, every now and then you're not going to have an internet connection and you still want to be able to have fun on your Chromebook. Okay, and that is about it in terms of what I want to go over for this video. Really just wanted to graze the surface on just the bare basics. One more thing I'll show you actually is if we go to Chrome, if you wanted to download movies or TV shows or music, you would go to play.google.com/store, and this is the Google Play Store. This is where you'll be able to get your music, your books, your magazines, movies, TV, etc. Now, the reason I wanted to point this out is because you cannot plug in an external CD drive, so you can't like rip a DVD or a CD to the computer to listen to it. You can't watch your own DVDs in the computer. So unless you already have some movies that are in digital format, like on a flash drive or a micro SD or an SD card, you're kind of stuck. And this is really an entertainment-based device. So Facebook, web browsing, that's kind of the main stuff that you would do with it. So definitely would say download some movies or download a ripper program that will let you like rip a DVD to like a digital format. You wouldn't be able to use it on this computer, but you could use it on other computers, and it would just give you some more entertainment with it. So anyway, this was Google Chrome for Beginners. Actually, one more thing I want to show you that is very important. If we come down here and click on the time, how do we shut down the Chromebook? Great question. If we click on, there's a power button right here. It's actually a shutdown. When you click that, it will shut down the computer. If you just wanted to, let me zoom in a little more here. If you just wanted to sign out, you can just click the lock right here and it will lock the computer. So if someone did want to use it, guess what? They would have to put in my password right here to do so. Or you could just sign out altogether, and then it'll take you right back to this screen right here, and then we have two different accounts that are synced. And then you also have a guest account, which is cool. So if you just wanted to have like a kid play with it and you didn't want them to mess with any of your stuff, or you just had a friend that just needed to quote unquote check an email real quick, that's totally fine. They can just click browse as a guest, and then they can do a little guest browsing without interfering with anything that you have on the computer. So this has been, again, the Chromebook for beginners. Hope you guys found this helpful. I tried to keep it basic and really just go over all the important things that you would need to know to operate this computer. Didn't mean for the computer, the video to drag out so long, but I wanted to be thorough because, again, this operating system is very new, and you really have to play with it for a little while to learn where everything is. So I wanted to kind of